the Seven Hanging Valleys Trail.
Going where the fair winds blow, our home is where the waters flow. We'll show you what we've come to know on board while sailing wisdom.
Today we're going on an adventure. We're going to do a very beautiful hike. Well, we hope it'll be very beautiful. It's a gorgeous day, and this is kind of our last adventure in the Algarve before we get ready to set sail to our next destination in Spain. The trail is called the Seven Hanging Valleys Trail. It's about 5 kilometers, moderate to hard, and it includes some of the most beautiful lookouts in the Algarve. So it's getting crossed off our list today. So the word Algarve actually means sinkhole in English, and this area is called the Algarve because it's full of these natural sinkholes or wells created by rainwater, which is quite acidic, cutting away the natural landscape of limestone rock which lines this coast and creating what you see behind me here, which is a giant sinkhole or natural well. It also creates all of these underground rivers and cave systems that erode away the calcium carbonate of the limestone over hundreds and hundreds of years, and as a result we get this really, really cool landscape.
Something I find really awesome that kind of connects us to the entire world. So our bones are made out of calcium carbonate. Seashells are calcium carbonate. Coral is calcium carbonate. And limestone is calcium carbonate. Like, we're all the same matter, the same material, just organized differently. And then we create totally different forms of existence. Like, you have a cliff wall and us. And we're, in an essence, all made from the same stuff.
So even though we are hundreds of feet above sea level right now, the ground is basically made of seashells. I just think it's crazy that there are all shells up here.
So a long time ago, this must have been sea floor, and those shells were simply deposited into the sea floor. And then as time passed, it turned into limestone, rose out of the water a whole lot, and now we are way up above sea level on a cliff looking at ancient shells.
You can tell I'm a nerd because, to me, that's the coolest thing about this hike so far. The floor!
This is a big sinkhole. All the others have been like pretty small.
From the dinghy the other day, and now we're getting the perspective from being on top of the caves and looking out on the ocean. It's really beautiful in both, and I'm glad that we got to see both.
On this trail, you can find pine cones, butterflies, mongoose that are disguised as owls, fox, and rabbits. Mongoose.
Question mark?
And as we climb around this arid climate with small patches of fudge, we come across another one of Earth's buttholes. Now, if you're ever out hiking and you come across a hole in the ground and you're wondering, is this one of Earth's buttholes or is it just a regular hole in the ground? Well, it's very simple. See, all you need to do is look next to you and see if there's a big crack. I find it very interesting that with that giant cave, it is eroding away and collapsing to the form that it has. That's how its shape formed, is actually from rock slides and rock just falling off of it. And according to the sign, it said that mainly happens during the winter months. The thing that I find really interesting is the way that the rock is falling away. It's forming beautiful arches, and an arch is the strongest structure. It's the strongest thing, and anything that isn't part of that arch seems to just fall away until all you're left with is the elegant beauty of simplicity.
So right down there, where that boat's got his nose in the cliff, that's the Benagil cave that we were dinghying to.
So that is as far as we went in the dinghy, but the trail keeps going by land.
We learned that apparently that boat is, if not a replica, it's in the same style as and the same size as the Santa Maria, you know, Columbus. So this is the top of the cave that we were in the other day, the Benagil cave. Well, it's a lot cooler seeing it from the inside, I will say, but knowing what it is in there and seeing it from up here is pretty cool. It's bothering me though that so many people are going within the restricted area because it's causing erosion. And there are unstable rocks, so they're risking their life and they're contributing to the ruin of this natural wonder. But it's really cool.
So there's 3 ways to get here. One is this hike, and then you're still outside. You look in, but you don't really see it. The second is to go on one of those tour ships where they bring you out here and then they pop you inside for a couple minutes just into the mouth of the cave and then back out. The third option is to get here on your own by water. So we came by dinghy and we were in there for over an hour. We had a really good time in there. Apparently a lot of people that don't have dinghies that go in, you can rent a paddleboard or a kayak or something like that for 15 euros at the beach next to it, and you just scoot in. And other people swam in, and swimming in is, it's the cheapest, but it's insane. I don't recommend it because we saw swimmers going through near those giant tour ships that did not see them, and the tour ships are backing up, and I'm thinking there's propellers and there's bodies, and propellers always win. So thankfully there were no giant chumming incidences while we were there, but just too dangerous. So don't swim. Don't swim.
I did not expect to see a cat up here, but I am always pleasantly surprised to see a cat. both that way and that way. Incredible. You guys have noticed I've been taking pictures this entire time, and the highlights of all my pictures of our travels go on Instagram. So I highly recommend checking out our Instagram because it allows you to see all of my photos and where we are in real time. The Instagram photos come out way before the videos do. So check those out if you want a really great preview of what's to come. So we were originally planning on anchoring around where that boat is out there, and we are really glad that we elected not to, just by looking at him right now. The seas are very calm today, and yet he is rocking and rolling like crazy due to just the regular swell of the ocean and the immense amount of wakes caused by tour boats.
So instead we anchored in a very protected harbor behind the breakwater.
In a designated anchorage.
Yes, we've made it to the end. It's 6 kilometers. Well, it's 5.6 kilometers from where it starts to where we are.
It's a linear trail, so we have to catch an Uber back. We're off to a special dinner. We've been waiting for this dinner ever since I looked it up on TripAdvisor as soon as we got here. It's a place, it's kind of on the fancier side, right on the beach, and it's called All Beef. There are kind of two sides of this area. There's the pretty old side and the very industrial new side. The place where we're going is actually on the newer side, but it takes a really long time to get there by both car and foot if you walk around to get to the bridge. So what we've done is we've beached the dinghy over here on the old side, and we're gonna take a ferry boat to the new side, and then our walk will be just a little shorter. One thing that is really annoying in Anchorage is people who anchor too close. Well, we are off, and it's pretty rocky out here. Watch switch.
Yeah, we're switching watch. It's 1 in the morning. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends.
And if you'd like to follow our journey in real time on a map, receive postcards from our ports of call, and messages directly to the boat, you can go ahead and become a patron using the link in the description down below.